G'day guys, just got another workout for you today. Today what we're going to do is look at a 20-second work period with a 10-second rest. And we're going to do that 8 times over. It's referred to as a Tabata. We're not going to do it as a proper Tabata, we're just using the time frame for it. For today you'll need either a box or a chair or a low step that you can step up onto. You may want some kind of yoga mat or some padding for some of the exercises. A bit later on, in one of the other rounds, you might want something like a skipping rope or a little bit of a weight like a ball or a medicine ball or something like that. But don't need too much for today. This is mainly about getting our heart rate up, working for a short period of time with a short period of rest. So we'll get straight into it. So for our first round today, what we're going to look at using is a step. A couple of options with your step ups. One is just stepping up and stepping down. Making sure you alternate legs that you step up on every couple of reps. The other option with this one is to go from a bit of a hop onto that step, changing feet at the top. From there we're going to move to a step up from our hands to elbows or elbows to hands. So from a plank position, stepping up, stepping down. So that'll be our first round, alternating each 30-second block. Okay guys, starting in 10 seconds. More of those moves. Still recording. Tried this before. This is our third take. They're all good. Recording is on. So guys, you can pause the video here, have a rest for about 2 minutes, and we'll get into the second round. Okay guys, for our second round, time frame stays the same, so now you've got a bit of an idea on how that's going to work. For this one we're going to alternate exercises from what's called an ice skater's lunge or a curtsy lunge, where we hop to the side, our foot comes behind and we reach towards the ground. Don't have to touch the ground on each one, but kind of reach towards that foot that you're balancing on. We're going to alternate that with a Russian twist. Sitting back, bit of a crunch position, tapping side to side. If you don't have a weight or something to use, get that crunch position, reach over diagonally across the body with your hand and just touch the ground next to your hip. So like I said, the time frame's the same. We're going to have 20 seconds of work with a 10-second rest. Alternate between those two exercises. So we can start in 10 seconds. Ice skater lunges. A Russian twist. guys, again, give yourself a couple of minutes to have a rest, recover a little bit, and then we'll get into the last round of the sequence. For that, if you've got a skipping rope, grab a skipping rope. It's okay if you don't. I'll give you a couple of options to get around what we've got planned. Okay guys, for our last round in the sequence, we're going to look at alternating between some burpees and some jump rope. If you don't have a jump rope, that's fine. Just think of, imagine you've got your rope and you're just kind of going through the motions. For our burpee, options are a full burpee, coming down to the ground, do your push-up, jump your feet back, jump up in the air. An alternative to that is stepping it out, stepping back in, coming back up, a little bit of a jump. You may want to add the push-up in that sequence, depending on where you're at in terms of your level of ability. So again, time frame's the same, 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds rest, 8 times round. So alternating between your burpees and your jump rope. And starting in 10 seconds. Okay guys, so that was our workout for today. As always, if you want to go back, do that a couple of times over, just to get a bit more work in. It was quite good. Otherwise, you could also just take parts of that session and redo those parts on their own. If you don't want to do the burpees or the skipping or anything like that, do the other parts, just to give yourself that little bit of extra work. As you can see from myself towards the end there, things probably a little bit sloppy in terms of technique, and that's partly because it's taken me 5 or 6 times to get the video right. So doing that session a couple of times over, you're going to get pretty worn out. As always, stay safe while doing it. I'm going to go swing some kettlebells, and I'll catch you in the next one.